So it's just now the Unit 8 notebook check, whenever that gets turned in tomorrow. And then the second unit pep quiz, and then all the grading will be done. I mean, except for people that kind of turn in things late or whatever, which is fine. So pretty exciting that I'm just finishing up the unit, and then I'm going to be finishing the grading. Has this week been slowing, everything is slowing down in your other classes as well, just because it's the last week? Or is it your teachers are all oh my gosh, it's the last week, I'm going to cram everything into this last week? Are all your classes doing a final? Because I know at least one science teacher that's not doing a final, period. So I'm wondering if do you have finals for all of your classes? The final, I don't have any real extra information about what your final is going to look like, other than the fact that it's going to be mostly multiple choice, if not completely multiple choice. Yeah, and just everything from the whole semester. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure when is going to make the final live. I'm thinking maybe sometime next week, but he'll be back next week for the last 2 weeks to take care of any questions or last minute loose ends and stuff like that. So I had a couple of announcements. One is that some people have been asking is it possible to get stuff from your locker, or when can you get things from your locker, or take things home that was still at school, or what are you going to do about returning your textbooks? And I'm not sure if you were already sent an email about this, but in case you haven't, I'll just update you now. And again, things are changing all the time, so maybe this will change, but as of right now, the current answer is that any textbooks that you have, or any technology that you got from the school, like a Chromebook or hotspot or whatever, you're going to hang on to it for the summer, so you're not coming back to school to return anything until the fall. If we're even back in the fall or whatever. You're also, as of right now, you're not able to go back to campus to get anything out of your locker. So whatever's in your locker is just going to stay there until after summer. So if you have some sort of special situation, maybe you're maybe you're moving. There was a student here that said he's moving. It's what are you supposed to do with this textbook? Or what if there's something important you want? I don't know. So if you've got a situation like you're moving, you don't know what you're doing with your textbook, or there's just something, hi Ryan, or there's something important in your locker that you left there and you really want it back, before, you don't want to just not have it for the next 3 months, you could say so right now, or you could just, let me know through, email me or Mr. Wang on campus, and then we will talk to the admin and kind of see if something can be done for special circumstances like that. yeah, so that's the news about your lockers and textbooks. So from what I've heard in the last department meeting about, what is it going to look like in the fall and stuff like that. Well, first, I can tell you that there are no definite answers about what's happening in the fall. I can tell you that we are for sure not starting school in July. You won't start the fall semester until at least mid-August, if not later or whatever. So if anything, you're starting school mid or late August. Definitely not late July. Normally I have you answer like some sort of question in the chat on Thursdays at the beginning, and I'm gonna have you do another question like that. But this question I really want you to answer it because in the fall there's a very good chance that you're still going to be doing some form of online learning or distance learning or whatever. Like nobody knows for sure yet because the district is they're still kind of debating, hashing out what would be a good idea, and we don't know, things are changing every day with the virus and what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do, and we just don't know if the virus is going to spike up again or whatever. And so I would just say you can expect that at least some portion of your school next school year is going to be this distance learning, because even if at the very beginning, sorry, I didn't realize it was still on so high. My bad. Even if we came back to school in person in the fall for a little bit, by late fall, early winter or whatever, when flu season comes around, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some form of sheltering in place again, just when flu season comes back and coronavirus might come back and whatever. So so my question that I really would like this feedback on is what is something that would have supported you better for online learning. I know for this semester it was so everything happened so fast and teachers just really were not prepared to try to figure out online curriculum. So I know it may not have been ideal. You may not have felt really supported, or it may not have best suited you the way things were happening. But now that you know that and the teachers know that this is probably going to continue on in some form in the next school year, I think it'd be really important to kind of get your feedback on what are the things that really need to be better next school year, at least for you as a student, or what needs to change, or what did you not like about and this could be, it doesn't have to just be this class. You could just talk broadly about any of your classes. You don't like it when you didn't like it when teachers did this or whatever. So I'll give you some time to think. I'm gonna put the raccoon on, and yeah, I would really appreciate if you could give your personal feedback about how online learning was for you. Well, thank you for your feedback. So I'm seeing, just having a way to kind of like organize the assignments just so that it's easier for you to see, all the assignments you're supposed to have so that you don't miss anything, and it's easy to kind of know, easier for you to like keep track of everything. So like the calendar agenda that Mr. Wang and I had been keeping on the homepage of biology is like, do you feel that that was a good representation of the kind of calendar and labeling that you are talking about? Like, did that help you kind of keep track of your assignments, or does it need to be like, even more clear than that? Okay. And then staying connected. So I think maybe more checking in with students more on a more regular basis, just to make sure they're, doing okay and staying on track and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So I wrote this down, and I'll share it with Mr. Wang too, because he's like, we're all gonna. I mean, all the teachers are gonna have to be doing like online stuff again next year. So yeah, this was really good feedback. It was also personally very important for me to get this feedback from you specifically, because most of you are freshmen, and you're probably taking chemistry next school year. Some of you might not be, but I mean, I feel like it's pretty common to take chemistry in your sophomore year. And so this brings me to my exciting news that I wanted to share with you. I was hired to be the chemistry teacher while Mr. Von Oy is away for the year. So next school year, I will be a chem teacher at Mills, and there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to be your chem teacher. So this was, that's why it was pretty important for me just to like know how to make online learning better for you specifically, so that, if you are my student for real next year, then, I can try to make sure that I'm meeting your needs and making the online learning as meaningful for you as possible. So yeah, pretty excited about that. If we do have classes in person for a limited amount of time, I would love to see your faces and know what you look like, kind of match the name to the face. Yeah, so starting this summer, I'm gonna start preparing, you know, for the year, and also trying to keep in mind that everything has to be ready for like being online, in case we have to do it, online stuff next year. So yeah, that was my exciting news. Thank you. Let's see. Is there anything else I was supposed to say? Yeah, I think, reflecting back on this, this is the first time, thank you, this is the first time I've had to do, online anything for like, teaching and stuff like that. And so definitely was a big learning curve. I mean, like, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I think maybe, in retrospect, I think like what was hard or tricky, and I would want to change this for, next time or whatever. I think just the fact that your grades stayed the same for much of distance learning all the way until like last week when you started submitting your notebook checks and stuff like that. I think that made it harder for you as students because you didn't really have an idea of like where you stood in terms of your grade and how safe you were in terms of like, were you going to, be above the 60% credit line or whatever. And so I do feel bad about that. As I started like putting in the points, and then like if some people hadn't submitted their notebook check yet because maybe they hadn't been doing stuff like for the past 2 months or whatever, and then now it turned into a bunch of zeros, and then their grade is like dropping, and then they're like freaking out and emailing me like, what's happening? And then, the semester's almost over, so you kind of have like a limited amount of time to like suddenly do all this stuff. So I do think that could have been handled better. It was just, I'm sure all the teachers have been feeling like a sort of struggle of like not really knowing like what is the best way to be doing anything like online, and so it's just been a really big learning process for everyone. So I think I'm thinking like, if I have to do online stuff next year, which I probably will. I definitely will have to for some part of the year. I'm thinking just like more frequent assessments in the sense of like your grade is being updated more frequently, and just like, and when I say like more frequent assessments, I mean just like something that's like checking in, like getting like maybe having you like submit things more often instead of like having you kind of wait until the end of a unit and then like turning everything in all at the same time. I know that like on one hand that's a simpler way to do it so that I'm not drowning in like submissions, but then on the other hand it's like I had no idea if you were understanding anything until like I look at it, when you turn it all in. So yeah, those are the things I've been thinking about of like, how do I want to improve for the coming school year? Since we're kind of on the topic of notebook checks, I finished Unit 6 and 7, at least for everyone that submitted their notebook videos to me, as of yesterday. If someone submitted something today, I haven't looked at it yet. But for anyone that didn't submit something, I put a 0, not to freak you out, but just because I want you to see that if you don't turn this in, this is what is going to happen to your grade. So if you've checked your grade on Canvas anytime in the last 24 hours and it is below 60%, you know that you need to do something and turn stuff in and whatever. So this morning I finished going through the evolution and ecology quizzes, and I put those into Canvas, and for anyone who hadn't taken the quiz yet, it turned into a 0 as well. Again, it's not to like be mean or anything, I just want you to know that if you don't take it, that's what it's going to turn into. Any incomplete assignments or incomplete quizzes or whatever, they will eventually turn into a 0 if they're not done, like ever. So just make sure you do that if you haven't, or if your grade is sinking. I put up the link for the Google Form link for Unit 8 last night. It looks exactly the same as the form for Unit 6 and 7. It's right underneath. It's on the home screen of the biology page, like right underneath, at the very top of the page, right underneath where the form was for Unit 6 and 7. Alternatively, I did put it in the calendar agenda thing. That's like at the very bottom of the home screen, home page, I mean. So there's two places you can find it. Alternatively, if you went to like the assignments tab in biology and you clicked on Unit 8, like I also put it there. So everywhere you could think of to look, I put it there. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. It's a Google form again. You just put your name and then like put the link for your video. I did put an extra question at the bottom that's just asking for some feedback about the human impact unit. And yeah, it would just be I think it would be really helpful for Mr. Wang to get some feedback on that, because, and I know like distance learning made it kind of difficult, but like as best as you can, just try to think about like the actual content of the unit itself, and what was meaningful to you, what was not as meaningful, what do you wish you could have learned, or whatever. Because this was the first year that this unit was done in Mr. Wang's class, even though he didn't teach it and I did. But the point is that this is new, and with all new units and whatever, like it kind of takes some, you have to edit it year after year based off of how well does it work for the students. And so any feedback that you give to him about how the unit went for you, I think it would be really helpful in helping Mr. Wang continue to shape the unit so that it will be better for the following generations of students. So that would be really appreciated. And the last thing I want to say about the Unit 8 notebook checks is that little question about like, did you make sure to put the share setting on, anyone with the link can view? Please make sure you actually do that, because I emailed several people about like, I can't view your video, you need to share it with me. So please make sure you do that, so then it just saves me time and I can get through it quicker. Are there any questions about Unit 8 notebook checks, or Unit 6 and 7, or your grades, or anything? If you have any discrepancies with the Unit 6 and 7 grades, like you think that you should have a higher grade than I put, just email me and I can tell you what assignments I was missing. And it's totally possible that you had it there, I just like couldn't see it or didn't see it or whatever. Yeah, so like, feel free to email me and or ask me why your grade is the way it is. The other thing I will say about your videos for Unit 8, it would be helpful for me if you kind of make it clear what assignment you are on as you're moving from one assignment to the next assignment, especially because Unit 8 has 14 assignments. So if you kind of zoom in on the assignment name, or just point with your finger, or say it in the video, or something like that, that would just be helpful so that I know, like, okay, you're moving from assignment 3 to assignment 4, or something like that. Okay, I said a lot of words. Are there any questions about anything regarding your grades or notebooks and videos or whatever? Okay, all right, so everything makes sense, hopefully. Let's see. I'm interested to know if anyone wants to share any of your personal commitments from the very last assignment that we did yesterday. So if you want to share, feel free to share in the chat. I'd love to know, whatever you wrote down for that assignment. while you're thinking or maybe sharing or whatever in the chat, I can share for myself that I think one of the things I'm committing to, or I'm trying to like make a change in my life, is eating less meat, especially beef, for multiple reasons. I mean, like when I was in college, I never thought that I would be the kind of person that was like changing my diet to be more environmentally friendly, and I kind of rolled my eyes at all the people that said I should be doing that. And now, only a few years later, I'm like, making changes. So I think I just didn't know. Like, I really just did not have enough knowledge or understanding about the way the cow industry or the beef industry is really impacting the environment. And it's not just like, cow stomachs generate methane or whatever, but I think just because of the way like beef is so demanded especially in America, and so like the beef industry is in such high demand that the farmers or whatever, they don't really follow very environmentally friendly practices, and so it's using a lot of land resources, it's using a lot of water to water to grow food for the cows, and then like the soil gets polluted and the water gets polluted because of runoff from manure and fertilizers and whatever. And I think I just I didn't really understand the scope of like how much impact this is having everywhere. And and so that's really convicted me that I want to try to eat less beef. I'm not going to cut it out of my diet like completely forever because I love burgers. And so I mean, like maybe like once in a while as a treat I'll have a burger or something. And I'm also going to try to eat less fish because I think I mean, even though I knew that overfishing was a problem, I think I just didn't know, I didn't have an understanding of the severity of this problem, and how like ecosystems are like collapsing because we're over harvesting like marine ecosystems. So I'm going to try to eat less meat, not just for environmental purposes, but being more healthy, and especially right now, like as in COVID-19 era, I kind of don't trust many meat plants anyway right now. But yeah, that's something I'm committing to. Oh, that's great! Reusable drink containers and donating belongings. Yeah, I find it is so difficult to get rid of things now. Like, and not in the sense that like I'm a hoarder, but like in the sense that like, how do I get rid of this? What is the best way to, not throw this in the trash every time I want to get rid of something? So I really feel like I'm like feeling the weight of responsibility of owning things, especially when I'm trying to get rid of those things. Let's see, is there anything else I thought of something like right before I started this live stream, and now I've forgotten. I think I'm trying to, in an effort to like, work on reducing my food-related trash, like food-related plastic and stuff like that. And this will kind of be a slow progress thing, but I'm trying to learn or get better at making my own snacks. And so instead of buying it at the grocery store in a bag, maybe I can make it myself and then store it in my own containers. Like tortilla chips, I can make my own tortilla chips. I just have to do it. So then I don't have to buy tortilla chips. Making my own cookies or my own crackers or whatever. I mean, I think it's just like, it's more of a laziness thing. Like I just have to do it instead of just buying it. So I want to try to like be better at, instead of buying snacks in plastic bags or plastic containers, making my own snacks. Anything else that anyone wants to share? I was also going to let you know, if anyone just really like became interested in like the things that you were learning in this unit and you wanted to like continue learning more, um, the Story of Stuff website, which I had you watch the Story of Stuff video, but they have a website. If you go to that website, they have a lot of other videos that are really good to watch. But they also have this movie called The Story of Plastic, and I don't know if you can access it from their website, but I'm watching a screening of that movie today. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And I don't know if you know about this already. Maybe I just didn't know about this because I'm ignorant or something, but the San Mateo County Office of Sustainability, they do a lot of like free classes and workshops and stuff like that. And this month, like they have a bunch of Zoom workshops. So this Saturday they'll be, doing a workshop about how to start composting at home or something like that, or how to, later on in May, they're doing a like gardening workshop, like how to start a food garden. And in the summer, they have a summer like sustainability course. It's a 9-week course, once a week. So, if you found that you've become really passionate about this kind of stuff, just from what you've learned about this from this unit, there are lots of resources where you can learn more, and these are all free. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, just email me and I can send you the link. But you could also find it yourself if you just type in San Mateo County Office of Sustainability, you'll find the sustainability course there on their website. Cool. So any questions you want to ask about me, or I don't know, anything you're curious about or whatever. Yeah, this is my last friend to show you, Lolly, the giraffe. She's a baby giraffe. And yeah, she was the very last friend that did not make it in any of the videos, so I thought I should feature her today, since this is my last live stream with you. But since she's a baby giraffe, she wanted to have a chaperone, so that's why the dinosaur is with her. Like I said in my last video, half of you find this as entertaining as I do, and then the other half of you think I'm nuts. That's okay though. I already know I'm crazy. I'm fine. No questions? How are you guys feeling or doing? How are you guys doing? Moving on to week number, who knows, with quarantine and stuff like that. Like, are you feeling excited that school is ending, or does it like not really feel like the normal excitement of reaching the end of the school year, just because like nothing is changing in your life and you don't even go to school anyway? I mean, like, I know for me, I've really, like, wishing that I could go out and do things again. And I've been, like, keeping an eye on, like, how close are we progressing to being able to open up again, while at the same time kind of knowing that even if we reach that point where, like, okay, we can open again, that, like, that might just, cause the thing caused like the cases to spike again, and then we have to like go back to quarantining. So, are you talking about summer school? If you're talking about summer school, yes, that is going to be online. And if you're trying to take anything at community colleges, those are also going to be online. So yes, all summer learning is going to be online. Did you guys do anything for Mother's Day? Like, did you cook something for your mom, or do takeout from a favorite restaurant or whatever? My mom did. Oh, that's so sweet. My mom did I used a gift card that I had for this restaurant, so I kind of helped pay for her portion of it and mine. But my mom did take out from her favorite restaurant, which is called Reyes. It's like this Hawaiian fusion restaurant in San Francisco, and they were doing a Mother's Day special, and my mom loves their food, so we got food from there, and it was like a three course meal or whatever, takeout for each person, and it came with their famous dessert, which is like their lava cake. But I mean, like, instead of giving you the lava cake, they gave you all the ingredients to make the lava cake yourself. So I had to bake it in my oven, and I've saved one for her that so she can get the lava cake, because it's like her favorite dessert ever. What about everyone else? What did you do for Mother's Day? Did you do anything? Did it not feel as special as prior years? I know Mr. Wang, he baked fresh sourdough bread for both his wife, who is now a new mother, and his actual mother, who's visiting with them right now. Oh, that sounds amazing. Garlic bread is like one of my favorite. It probably is actually my favorite bread. And I've been like craving garlic bread for the past 3 weeks. What cooked food did you make, Michaela? Oh, I guess I also made naan for my mom. On Sunday, I made naan for the very first time, not using yeast, because it's so hard to find yeast at the grocery store these days. So I actually used yogurt. I found a recipe. Oh, cool. Chicken. Yeah, so I made naan, and it was pretty good. It wasn't like, flavored or anything. I just did a simple like butter naan, because I feel like the first time you do something, you gotta like, at least I like to start like, to make sure I can do like the basic version of something before I start making it more complicated. Yeah, so I gave some to my mom and she liked it. My husband also really liked it, and I had to like stop him from eating it because, you know, I wanted to save some for my breakfast the next day. Yeah, so we made naan, and then we were trying to make a curry, but I actually didn't have a lot of the spices that you use for curry, so it ended up being more of like a stew kind of situation. But I mean, it was good. I think just like it was initially a little of a letdown because we were thinking curry and it didn't taste like curry. But then like when you think of it as a stew, then it tastes like it's a good stew. Yeah, so stew and naan. It's pretty good. Have you guys been finding ways to keep active while you're sheltering in place? I've been following this workout calendar. It's like each week is a week-long challenge kind of thing. And then I just found out Tuesday, that one of my really good friends, like from high school, that she was doing the same challenge calendar thing too. And we were like, oh my gosh, we should do it together and motivate each other. So actually this morning, we like video called each other, and then we did the workout together. And I was like really sweaty and tired. But I feel like productive now. Even if I did nothing for the rest of the day, it's like I already know that I worked out. So, oh, that's so cool. Zoom karate classes. I mean, like, is it harder, like, doing karate classes at home? Like, do you need, I mean, like, is it different that, like, you don't have, like, other people to, I don't know, spar with? I don't really know, like, in karate classes if you, like, spar with other people or something. Oh, that's cool. You've been running. I used to be a runner. Now I'm not a runner. Is anyone else doing, you know, online workouts, home workouts stuff? Okay, so just motions and technique. Yeah, because I used to do jiu-jitsu. I don't anymore, just because I haven't renewed membership for a gym yet. Plus, I mean, I can't do that right now anyway. But I've been following, like, the gym I used to go to. I've been following on, like, just kind of looking at, like, when they've been doing, like, live classes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's mainly just, like, drills that you could do at home, so that you kind of just keep up your stamina and endurance and stuff like that. That's true. We would be in PALs right now if school were still happening right now. Right? PALs is first couple weeks of May, I think. Well, actually, PALs would be over by now, I think, and then it would be uh, state level or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been in track. That's great that you're kind of, you know, doing what you normally would be doing right now in a different way. Okay, cool. Well, it's about 2:20. So if there's like any last burning questions about anything, say it now or forever hold your peace. But yeah, it's about, you know, been about 50 minutes, and then so we can end here, and then I can prepare for 7th period. Yeah, well, you know, before we go, I just want to say that, you know, I've really enjoyed just having the opportunity to teach you guys, even though it's, you know, there's been challenges with just adjusting to the online learning and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm just really appreciative that I've gotten to know you, you know, in the limited capacity that, you know, of virtually kind of interacting with you, and I hope I get to either meet you or get to know you better next school year. So, you know, until then, stay safe. I hope you have a good end to your freshman year, or, you know, whatever grade you're in. But yeah, thanks for being super amazing, and I'll see you in the fall, hopefully. Bye!